When looking at the culture of Europe, we must realize Europe is not just one nation. Europe is made up of multiple different groups and ethnic groups that incorporate their own cultural styles. You have Spain. Spain, their main language is Spanish. They have major cities like Madrid and Barcelona. You have France. Their main language is French, while they have major cities like Paris and Normandy. You got Belgium. They also speak French, but they also speak a sort of Flemish, and their capital is Brussels. You got England, and England is part of what is called the United Kingdom. That includes Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, which have different ideas or different ethnic persuasions. So Europe is a very diverse culture encompassing a whole bunch of things. Now, when it comes to European culture, Europe has influenced a lot of um, what is modern culture through its different influences, especially in art. You have Leonardo da Vinci in his creations of the Last Supper and the Mona Lisa. You have its influence in music. Europe is home to Mozart and Beethoven, and also is home to the Beatles. So Europe has a wide range of cultural influences. Now, the different nations of Europe, even though they hold to different ethnic traditions, they generally have adopted, in the modern sense, a European culture that embraces its Europeanness. Now, what do I mean by that? Europeans generally believe in wanting to understand each other. So most Europeans are able to speak multiple language. Americans, we predominantly speak English. But most Europeans can speak English, French, German, Spanish, or Italian. Even though, let's say they're Polish, they may know those languages because Europe wants to encourage this Europeanness, kind of a united force together. Europe is also home to many different culturally iconic landmarks. You have the Eiffel Tower in France, you have the Arc de Triomphe in France. You also have the Big Ben Tower in London. You got the Colosseum, the Roman Colosseum in Rome. And you have many other landmarks in Europe that play a great role in its identity. Europe is also famous for its food and its delicious French and Italian cuisine. That is where we get pizza and Danishes and things like that. So we can thank the Europeans for having such delicious cuisine. Also, the Europeans contain a large margin of the major literature that we study in the Western world. You have Shakespeare and Tolstoy, and many of those important literary writers that influence our movies and our ideas in the modern world. Remember the Enlightenment that we discussed in our previous lesson plays a role in how we organized our government in the United States. So Europeans have a great role in affecting America. Also, when looking at Europe, Europe has many different festivals and dances and celebrations that give them a certain distinction in their own ethnic countries. Each of the countries have their own little festivals and get-togethers like Mardi Gras or Oktoberfest. But again, there's also a large sense of a Europeanness in Europe. Christmas is a large holiday. Easter, those holidays are major holidays because generally Europe has a major Christian tradition. So that is the major focus there. So when looking at Europe and its culture, it is very diverse, but also very unified. Very different ideas and very different cultural